What's going on, everyone? This is Chris G. Hope all of y'all are doing okay. And I just wanted to talk about something that was on my mind in regards to Memorial Day. And, I may start doing this every year. I'm not for sure, but I think I've done a video about this before. But I just want to let, people know because it's real. It's something that's a really big deal for me that I want people to understand that Memorial Day is about remembrance, and the mourning of people that made the ultimate sacrifice for this nation. People that lost their lives in combat zones. You understand? Lost their lives in the theater of war. And war is hell. There's nothing beautiful about war. There's no cute stuff about war. War is vicious, and war has a tendency of collecting lives, and it's indiscriminate. It don't matter what race, color, creed, or what name you call God. War comes to collect lives, and there are people that make the ultimate sacrifice to get missions done. There are some folks that, I remember I read one story, man. There was a guy in Vietnam, and he was a machine gunner. Excuse me. And he was holding off the enemy and was firing. This was in Vietnam. He was holding off the enemy while his buddies could make it out of whatever area they were in. And he was doing that to hold the enemy off. And unfortunately, he lost his life. He did receive the Medal of Honor posthumously. I think I said that right, posthumously. He received it, that manner. But you got stories like that, man. And that guy, he put his life on the line, and ultimately he was sacrificed. He lost his life trying to protect his buddies, man. This is what this day is about. This day, it's not about furniture sales and shit, or combo deals at restaurants and shit. Now, I'm not saying you can't go out there and go enjoy those things, but or putting hot dogs and burgers on the grill. I'm not saying you can't do those things, but I just want people to remember what this day is really about, and just take the time out, even if it ain't nothing but just 10 seconds. Just think about the people that made the ultimate sacrifice for this nation. Think about those folks in World War II, man, when they were trying to storm up those beaches of Normandy, man, with bullets and stuff flying around. And a lot of them were, excuse my French, a lot of them were scared shitless, didn't know if they were going to make it. A lot of them didn't, but some of them made it up on that beach, that Omaha beach, and they got to push in. They got to push in on those Germans to fight against that machine, to fight against tyranny. Remember that. Remember those guys that are down in Vietnam putting up the good fight to fight against communism. Those guys in World War I, in those trenches, the trench battles, the trench warfare, man, with all type of mustard gas and stuff, and rats eating, decomposing bodies and stuff, and just in atrocious conditions, in the defense of a nation fighting against a very difficult foe, a difficult enemy to go up against. The gentlemen in the Civil War, Gettysburg, Antietam, the War of 1812. Okay, these many different battles where people were fighting, and many have lost their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget what this day is about. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. This is Chris G, signing off. Peace.